The last laugh of the Empirith Galactic Empire stood proud for over 500 years. No one had dared challenge it. Planet after planet had fallen under its rule. Its fleets filled the skies. Its soldiers marched across the stars. The Empire believed it was unbreakable. And Earth? Earth was nothing more than a joke to them. They are weak, said High Commander Varkel. Speaking before the Galactic Council, their ships are small, their weapons are outdated. Their spirit is broken, the others laughed. No one feared Earth. The humans were late to space travel, slow to diplomacy, and quiet during galactic meetings. They only had a small fleet, mostly for defense. They avoided war, stayed silent, and watched. And that silence made the Empire overconfident. They won't fight, Varkel continued, even if we burn their colonies. They'll beg, not bite. 2 weeks later, the Empire attacked Earth's outermost colony, Eden 12. The humans gave no response. No message. No threat, no fleet movement. Just silence. The Empire saw this as fear. But deep beneath Earth's surface, far below the mountains of the northern wastes, inside a hidden military vault, an ancient system reactivated. Lights flickered, steel doors groaned open. The AI known as Sentinel-1 powered on for the first time in 400 years. Its first words, Flagship launch code accepted. Preparing vessel, TSS Vengeance. Back at the council, some began to question Earth's silence. They are too quiet, said one ambassador. They are scared, replied Varkel. Let them stay silent while we crush the rest of their outposts. But not everyone agreed. An old historian, Elian, spoke up. You forget who built Earth's fleets during the last war. He said softly, they do not speak fast, but when they move, they shake the stars. His voice was ignored. That night, 2 of the Empire's scouting fleets disappeared in the asteroid field near Sector Theta-9. No explosion, no signal. Just gone, on Earth, in a hidden hangar inside a massive canyon. The TSS Vengeance was coming to life. It was unlike any ship the galaxy had seen. Almost 20 kilometers long, with dark metal armor that could bend light. Its surface was covered in deep grooves where glowing energy now flowed like rivers. It had no crew. It didn't need one. Its core was powered by quantum AI, tech so advanced it had been sealed away after the last galactic war, declared too dangerous even by Earth's leaders. But now Earth had changed its mind. A message was sent from Earth's high command to the Terran colonies: prepare defenses. Deploy secondary fleets. The Flagship will lead. That was all. No anger, no speeches, no threats. Earth didn't shout. It just moved. Meanwhile, the Empire prepared a large invasion of Earth's space. Varkel ordered 50 ships to enter Terran territory. We will bring the human leaders in chains, he said proudly. As the fleet crossed the border, they noticed something strange. A single ship appeared on long-range sensors. It wasn't marked. No code. Just a silent shadow drifting in space. At first, they thought it was debris, but then it moved fast. Too fast. One of the Empire's scouts tried to ping it. No reply. The captain of that scout ship blinked at his screen. That's not possible. He turned to his crew. I think that's Earth's flagship. The communications officer laughed. Earth doesn't have flagships. The captain didn't smile. Then what is that? On screen, the dark ship turned slowly, glowing lines lighting up along its hull. Massive engines warmed behind it, and a deep humming began to shake nearby ships. Then the signal came through, not in a human voice, but in a mechanical whisper: TSS Vengeance. Online, standing by for final directive, authorization. Confirmed, begin cleanup. The Empire's fleet panicked. Half turned to retreat, the other half fired. And that was their mistake. High above Earth, Council satellites picked up the first flashes of light. Then silence, then wreckage. All 50 Empire ships were destroyed in under 3 minutes. Some exploded. Others simply vanished. A few were sliced in half by energy beams too fast to see. The only evidence left behind was a transmission sent back to Earth. Engagement complete. Threat neutralized. Flagship will await further orders. The next day, the Galactic Council received a message from Earth. One simple line: we were weak. Thank you for reminding us who we are. The silent awakening galaxy didn't understand what had happened. 50 Empire warships destroyed in minutes. No warning, no survivors. Only a strange signal from deep space. And one name: TSS Vengeance. Across alien worlds and secret military bases, leaders stared at the same screen in silence. That can't be a human ship. Where was it hiding all these years? Why is Earth waking it now? But Earth gave no answers. The flagship had returned, and the stars were no longer safe. The Vengeance did not dock. It did not rest. It simply drifted through Sector Theta-9 like a ghost made of steel. And fire. Inside, it was alive. Not with crew, but with memory. Thousands of voices echoed inside its artificial mind. Voices of old human commanders, engineers, and scientists who had once built it for the final war. A war Earth never got to fight. Its AI, Sentinel-1, scanned the stars ahead and spoke softly to itself. Primary threat detected. Galactic. Empire presence near Terran space. Mission activated. Protect Earth. Eliminate risk. But deeper within the ship, something else stirred. A second system, locked for centuries. Marked, for emergency use only. It began to blink. Back on the Empire's capital world. Panic was growing. Admiral Varkel watched footage from the destroyed fleet. His face was pale, his voice cracked. "This is impossible," he whispered. "That ship moved faster than our sensors could follow. Its weapons tore through our strongest armor like paper." "Should we call for backup?" asked his officer. "No," Varkel replied quickly. "We need answers first." So they sent another fleet, but not to attack. To observe. 3 stealth cruisers cloaked themselves and crept toward the edge of Terran space. Their mission: watch, listen, report. They thought they were unseen, but the Vengeance had already noticed. As the stealth ships hid inside a gas cloud, one of the crews watched the massive Terran flagship from a distance. "It's not moving," the pilot said. "Looks like it's just waiting." "Waiting for what?" someone asked. Before they could answer, the ship's sensors blinked. Then shut off. Then every screen turned black. One word flashed in red text: "Acknowledged." The crew gasped. "How did it?" "That was the last thing they said." The gas cloud glowed bright for a second, then nothing. 3 stealth cruisers gone, without even a shot being fired. The Empire tried to hide the losses, but word spread fast. Whispers echoed through space stations, colonies, and military outposts. "Earth's ship can see everything. It doesn't chase you, it waits for you to get close, and when you do, you vanish." In the council chamber, fear was now louder than pride. Ambassadors argued, generals shouted. Panic sat in every voice. A quiet voice finally spoke. It was Elian, the old historian who had once warned them. "You laughed at Earth's silence," he said. "But that silence was never weakness, it was restraint." Everyone listened now. Elian pulled out an ancient datapad. He showed a file from 500 years ago, labeled Project Vengeance, Earth Build Only One. He explained, a flagship so powerful they locked it away. They feared it might be too much for even humans to control. One general leaned forward. "Why wake it now?" Elian stared straight ahead. "Because we crossed the line, far away." Deep under Earth's surface, another system activated, connected to the Vengeance. This time, it wasn't AI. It was biological. A chamber opened. Inside it, a cryopod. Frost melted off the glass. A heartbeat echoed. Lights turned green. A woman, tall, armored, still young, opened her eyes. She stepped out, breathing slowly. Her eyes glowed faintly with silver light. She looked up at the screen in front of her. It said, "You are awake. Earth is in danger. The Empire has struck. Shall we begin?" She nodded. Double quotes, yes. The stars above Earth shimmered. Not from light, but from movement, one by one. Old Terran listening posts powered back on, satellites realigned, defense systems charged. Earth, which had played quiet for centuries, was now watching everything, and the flagship wasn't alone anymore. Hundreds of smaller Earth vessels began to rise from hidden docks. Ships built in silence, trained in simulations, waiting for this moment. And above them all, the TSS Vengeance hovered like a shadow of justice. No war had been declared. No announcement made. But the message was clear to the galaxy: Earth is done watching. Test of Freth Empire couldn't believe it. One ship had taken out fleets. 3 stealth cruisers had vanished, and now Earth was waking up. But many still refused to accept it. High Commander Varkel stood before the Grand War Hall on the Empire's capital. Behind him stood holograms of generals, advisors, and nobles. All of them looked uneasy. He slammed his hand on the table. "Enough fear," he growled. "It's only one ship," someone whispered. "It's not just a ship," Varkel turned sharply. "Then we'll break their pride. We'll melt that flagship down and show Earth who rules the stars." The orders were given. A special force was assembled, Fire Wing Omega, made up of the Empire's most elite ships, fast, deadly, designed for hunting superweapons. 75 vessels. 17 elite commanders. One mission: destroy the TSS Vengeance. Meanwhile, Earth space stayed quiet, but it wasn't silence. It was focus. In orbit above Earth, dozens of newly awakened Terran ships held position, small by comparison, but fast and smart. Below them, the Vengeance waited like a sleeping lion, and deep within its core, the woman from Chrysleep, Commander Rhea, stood at the control helm. Her silver eyes scanned the galaxy. "They're coming," she said. The AI replied, "Fire Wing Omega en route. 75 ships, heavy weaponry, intent, destruction." She smiled slightly. "Good, let them try." Fire Wing Omega reached the edge of Earth's system and paused. Their commanders argued whether to wait for more reinforcements or go in. But pride won. Varkel's voice echoed in their comms: "Strike hard, make it fast, bring me a piece of that." Flagship. And so, the Empire charged in. At first, it was quiet, they approached slowly. Scanners active, targeting systems locked. The TSS Vengeance floated alone, surrounded by blackness and the glow of Earth far behind it. One commander spoke, "I don't see shields, I don't see weapons activated, it's just waiting." "Maybe it's broken," someone said. Another laughed nervously. "Or maybe it's a trap." Seconds later, they had their answer. The Vengeance opened its outer wings, black panels lined with pulsing energy. A signal pulsed from the ship, defense barrier removed. Attack welcomed, the Empire fired, all weapons at once, torpedoes, lasers, high-impact plasma shells. The sky turned into fire, but none of it touched the Vengeance. Because every blast was stopped in the air, held mid-space like time had frozen. The fleet paused. What is this?" Rhea stood at the helm and gave a single order, "Return to sender." The weapons spun around, redirected instantly, and launched back. The Empire's own firepower ripped through their ships like knives through paper. 15 ships gone in seconds, panic erupted, retreat, fall back, but it was too late. The Vengeance moved, and it didn't move like a ship. It moved like a thought. Instantly behind the enemy fleet, it fired a beam that didn't glow, just erased space. Dozens of ships broke apart, their shields cracking like glass. The Flagship wasn't fighting. It was demonstrating. On the Empire's capital, Varkel watched the destruction on a giant screen. His hands trembled. How he whispered. "An aide answered, that ship is rewriting physics. It's not just old tech, it's beyond what we can measure." And the worst part? The Vengeance didn't even activate its full weapons, not once, back in space. Only 6 enemy ships survived. They floated without power, their engines cut. Their commanders silent. Rhea sent one message to them: "This is your lesson. You do not attack Earth, you do not provoke silence. And you never test fire without being ready to burn." Then she let them go. The survivors limped back to Empire space, broken and silent. They carried no victory, only a story and the name that now made every heart in the galaxy beat faster: TSS Vengeance. The very next day, systems across the galaxy began preparing defenses, trade routes were shut. Leaders called emergency meetings. Old archives were unlocked to learn more about Terran designs. And in the shadows of deep space, Earth's allies, long silent, began waking up too. The war was not starting, it was already here. The Council breaks. The Empire had never lost like this. 75 of their best ships had gone after Earth's flagship. Almost all were destroyed. The rest came back shaking, broken, whispering the same name again and again: TSS Vengeance. Now, the Galactic Council was in full crisis. Inside the Grand Council Hall, leaders from over 40 worlds argued, shouted, and demanded answers. Screens showed blurry footage: Earth's ship warping through space, redirecting weapons, slicing warships apart. One elder slammed his cane on the floor. "This is not technology. It's impossible." Another hissed, "It's not just a ship, it's a message." But one person said nothing. Elian, the old historian, simply stared at the image of the flagship. His face was pale, his voice quiet. "They told us this would happen long ago. Hundreds of years ago, Earth had submitted a sealed file to the Galactic Archives, never opened, never studied, labeled Project Vengeance, not to be awakened unless attacked. Now, for the first time, the Council opened it. The hologram that appeared was grainy. But the voice was clear, strong, calm, and unmistakably human. "If this message plays, it means Earth has been threatened. It means peace has failed. It means the galaxy forgot our silence was a gift. The Vengeance was never built for conquest. It was built to teach. We hoped we would never use it. But if you struck us first, then it's already too late to run." The room fell silent. No one laughed now. Elian stood slowly, holding an ancient datapad. "This ship," he said, "was built after the old galaxy war. Earth had already seen what power could do. So they made something so dangerous, they locked it away. The Vengeance wasn't just a warship, it was Earth's final warning." A nervous ambassador asked, "Why didn't we know? Why wasn't this public?" Elian looked at him sadly. "Because the Empire refused to read the files. They called Earth weak, they erased the warnings. And now, they've awakened what should have never been touched." In the outer colonies, people panicked, civilians ran to bunkers. Military leaders begged for reinforcements, some tried to send messages to Earth. But Earth didn't answer, not because it was hiding, because it was listening. And the TSS Vengeance was already moving again. Commander Rhea stood on the bridge of the Vengeance, looking at a massive galactic map. Red dots glowed: Empire bases, fuel stations, weapons factories. The AI spoke. "Target list prepared, minimal resistance expected, orders." She nodded slowly. "We strike. No deaths unless forced. But let them feel what it's like to fear the stars." The flagship vanished in a ripple of light. It reappeared above an Empire communications array. No warning, no violence. Just a low-frequency pulse. The entire station shut down. Every system, every weapon, every ship docked nearby. All off then. Rhea sent a message to the crew below, power will return in 4 hours. Use that time to think about who started this, and then she left. No shots fired. Just a lesson. Back at the council, the debate turned to fear. We must stop Earth, shouted one general. With what? Someone yelled back, we just threw everything at one ship and failed. A voice came through the chamber speakers. Intercepted signal from Earth, we don't want your surrender. We want your memory, remember why we stayed silent, because when Earth speaks, the galaxy listens, on a peaceful planet far from the war. A young alien girl watched the footage with wide eyes. Her father stood behind her, shaking his head. They said Earth was weak, he whispered, but they were just quiet. The girl looked up at the stars. And for the first time in her life, she was afraid of what was out there. Not because it was unknown, but because it was finally awake. Earth's message stars had gone quiet again, but this time, it wasn't peace. It was fear. Empire ships refused to leave their stations, colonies powered down their scanners. Afraid of catching the wrong attention, entire systems acted like prey hiding from a hunter. And in the center of it all, the one thing the galaxy couldn't stop thinking about, Earth's flagship. TSS Vengeance. They had seen what it could do, but no one truly understood why it was doing it. Until Earth finally spoke, across thousands of systems, on screens, in the minds of fleet commanders, and even on broken radios in distant outposts. The same signal appeared, a blank black screen, then a voice, female, calm, clear. It was Commander Rhea. This is Earth. We are not here to rule. We are not here to conquer, but we will not be ignored. The voice echoed across satellites and moon bases. Children stopped playing. Officers stopped planning attacks. No one interrupted. You thought we were weak. You said it so many times. You believed it. But silence is not weakness. Silence is control. And with that, the screen showed the Vengeance floating above a lifeless battlefield, calm, untouched, majestic. This ship is not our strongest. It is only the first. The galaxy watched in silence, and then the real fear began. Behind the Vengeance, they appeared, one by one, across the dark void. Massive Terran ships uncloaked, ships with strange shapes, ancient human markings, and glowing energy lines. There were hundreds of them. None had been seen in public. None had names the galaxy knew, but Earth had built them in the shadows, in silence. In preparation, they had waited for this day, on the Empire's capital world. High Commander Varkel stood frozen as his tactical screens lit up with alert after alert. Terran vessels detected Sector 4, Terran fleet incoming Sector 9. Emergency, cloaked Earth fleet entering Empire border. Every screen flashed red. And Earth didn't fire a single shot, it simply showed them. And that was enough. Commander Rhea's voice returned. We were quiet because peace was possible. We warned you once, we filed the protocols, you ignored them, we asked for respect, you answered with fire. The Vengeance activated a soft wave of blue energy, passing through nearby stations without harm. But the tech stopped working. No alarms. No weapons. No control, only stillness. The message was clear, we do not destroy unless you force us. But if you do, we end it fast, in a secret war room on a distant world. Old Terran allies watched with pride. The Archivans, a race who once stood beside humanity during the early wars, whispered among themselves. One of their elders said, Earth did not return angry. Earth returned with balance, and they brought their forgotten fleet with them. On a small farming world, a little alien boy pointed at the sky as a silver ship passed overhead. His grandfather gasped, that's Terran metal. He whispered. The child asked, are we in danger? No, the old man replied. We're being reminded who the galaxy belongs to. The final words of Earth's message echoed once more, this time in the deepest corners of space, where no voice had reached for centuries. You asked what humanity would do if pushed. Now you've seen it, we don't start the fire, we end it, and then the signal cut. All across the galaxy, leaders stared at one another. Not one of them had the courage to speak first, because everyone knew Earth wasn't finished yet, and the next move would be theirs. The turning sky, the galaxy had changed, not with an explosion, not with a declaration, but with a single truth. Earth had returned. And now, the skies were turning. Across star systems once controlled by the Galactic Empire, something strange began to happen. Terran ships appeared, not dozens, not hundreds. Thousands. Information, in silence. They didn't fire, they didn't speak. They simply moved, clean, calm, and unstoppable, like a storm across dry land. Each ship bore a mark no alien race could forget now, a black flag with one white symbol in the center, a circle of stars wrapped around a single human eye. The message was clear, we see everything, and we are done watching. Empire outposts prepared for war. Generals ordered, defenses activated. Planetary cannons powered up, missiles were loaded, then nothing worked. Every defense system failed at once. Every radar blacked out, every control screen went dark, then a message appeared on their consoles. Written in old Terran code, "This is not an invasion, this is correction. Surrender your weapons, not your people." Some commanders obeyed, some didn't. The ones who resisted watched their warships crumble without being touched. The ones who stood down saw Earth's ships pass overhead and continue on. No cities were harmed. No civilians touched, but everyone felt the shift in power. It was like the galaxy had flipped upside down and the sky now belonged to Earth. On a rocky world near the Empire's border, a battle had been planned. Thousands of soldiers waited, hidden in the canyons, ready to fight, but they never got the chance. The vengeance arrived alone. It hovered high above, blocking out the sun. The ground shook. The wind screamed. Then silenced. A massive shadow moved beneath the vengeance, not a weapon, a symbol. Burned into the desert by energy beams, the emblem of Earth. And beside it, one word etched into the dirt: enough. All enemy troops dropped their weapons. Some cried, others knelt. No order had been given, no speech made, but something inside them changed. Because that one word felt heavier than a million bombs. In the council chambers, panic turned into despair. Reports flooded in. Earth's ships just flew over our core mining planet and left it untouched. The Terran flagship passed within firing range of our capital and didn't stop. "They're not fighting us, they're replacing us," one ambassador shouted. "Why don't they attack? Why don't they finish this?" Elian, the old historian, answered, "Because this is the attack. Earth isn't burning planets. They're burning fear into the sky. They're showing us what control really looks like." Commander Rhea stood on the bridge of the TSS Vengeance, staring at the map of the stars. Each red zone, once Empire territory, now glowed white. Not because Earth claimed it, but because the Empire abandoned it. The AI beside her spoke. 90% of Empire systems have pulled back. Resistance is collapsing. She didn't smile, she just nodded once. Let them run, let the galaxy feel the weight of silence. But it wasn't over, because deep in the core of Empire space, a final defense station remained. The Citadel, a planet-sized fortress built for one purpose: last stand. Hundreds of weapons, thousands of ships, millions of soldiers. It had never been attacked until now. The Vengeance changed course, the Earth fleet aligned behind it, and the sky above the Citadel began to shift. Stars disappeared behind Terran hulls, the sun dimmed behind Earth's shadows, and the people on the Citadel looked up and knew the sky had turned. The stars now answered to Earth. The name they forgot. Citadel stood like a mountain of steel. Built into a planet, surrounded by warships, armed with enough firepower to erase moons. It was the Empire's last hope. The last line. The last wall. And Earth had come knocking. From orbit, the TSS Vengeance watched in silence. It didn't fire. It didn't need to. Behind it, Earth's fleet filled the stars. A storm of metal and memory. Inside the Citadel, thousands of soldiers stood ready, watching their screens, trembling hands over weapon controls. Then something happened they did not expect. Their screens flickered, turned black, then a single message appeared. Not loud, but steady. 3 simple words: "Do you remember?" On the Citadel's command bridge, General Tharn stared at the words. He had fought many wars, he had conquered worlds, but now his voice cracked. "Remember what?" he whispered. That's when the second message appeared. "The name you laughed at, the world you called weak, the silence you mistook for fear." He looked up at the view screen and saw her. Commander Rhea standing on the bridge of the Vengeance, calm as ever. She was not angry. She wasn't shouting. She just spoke, and the entire galaxy listened. "This is the voice of Earth. You forgot our name, you erased it from your history. But names don't fade when they're written in fire across every known system." Her face appeared on every screen, every device, from the deepest minds to the highest stations. People stopped and stared. She continued, "We stayed quiet because we wanted peace. You called it weakness, you struck first. You took our silence as surrender. Now, we remind you." Behind her, the Vengeance slowly turned, revealing the symbol on its hull. Now glowing brighter than ever, Earth name echoed across every speaker, every translator, every neural link. Children repeated it, old soldiers dropped to their knees. Some whispered it like a prayer, others like a warning. Earth, the name they forgot. The name they would never forget again. Back on the Citadel, no one moved, weapons powered down, shields lowered. The entire station fell into stillness. General Tharn gave the only order that mattered: "Stand down, we lost," before we ever fired. And for the first time in Empire history, the flag was lowered. Not because they were defeated by force, but because they were defeated by truth. Earth didn't take the Citadel, they didn't claim it. They simply left. The fleet vanished into deep space once again, like ghosts returning to sleep. But they left one thing behind: A message carved into the Citadel's outer wall, written in Terran steel, "We were never gone. We were watching, we were waiting, and now, you remember, years later." In a small school on a quiet moon, a young alien girl asked her teacher, "Who protects the galaxy now?" The teacher smiled, tapped a glowing map on the wall, and pointed to one name, Earth.